My child, you left me speechless. I do not say that lightly, and I do not say it to impress you. I say it because what you just came through, and the way you came through it mattered more than you know. I gave up everything for you. No proof, no reward, and no idea what would happen, but what you chose to do in silence moved me deeply. Do not skip this. Do not skip over this moment. Things will change in 24 hours. There is a window of time for awareness, and that window is open right now. This is not because I am in a hurry. You didn't find this message by accident. You didn't just happen to find this. You could have kept scrolling, but something stopped you. You had to wait before you could fully understand something. 99% will ignore this and always feel bad about it. They won't have any idea what they gave up because they will never remember what they left behind. They will keep asking why things don't change, why peace seems to be taking too long, and why confusion keeps coming back. You were stopped for a reason, though. You're here because you're ready to hear things that other people would shy away from or be afraid of. Now listen to me without fear or doubt, but with the quiet seriousness that has been building up inside you as you've been through everything. What comes next depends on how you use these words. Not because I'm weak or because my love depends on you, but because you have to accept the truth in order for it to become real in your life. The truth that is ignored doesn't go away. It sits there, and the truth that you wait for often comes back later as pressure. Nobody could say what they thought about you, because you stayed when it would have been easier to leave. You didn't give up when it would have been smart. When your strength was low and your clarity was not as strong as you wanted it to be, you stayed. You didn't say that you would keep going. You didn't ask to be noticed. You just kept going. It's not often that people have that much faith and persistence. The world doesn't think it's very important, but it is in ways you can't see yet. I gave up everything for you. You may have heard those words a lot of times. But this is not the same. It's not about guilt. This isn't about stress. This is a story about love. I didn't give up my life so that you could always be afraid of making a mistake. I gave up something so you could know how deeply you are held. And it mattered when you didn't run away during the worst times, when you didn't let anger take over, and when you didn't make yourself feel better by disappearing. It told me something about you. It showed me your heart. Don't skip this because times like this don't come up all the time. Things keep going in life. Distractions come back quickly. And again there is noise in the room. You are still now, though. You are hearing right now. You're open right now. That openness might not be there tomorrow. That's why I'm here right now. Things will change in 24 hours. It's not because something exciting will happen, but because knowing something changes the way you walk. You can't go back and undo what you've seen. You can't downplay what you went through once you know what it was. When you know the truth, your choices change. What comes next is shaped by those changes. You didn't get this message by accident. Accidents don't stop people in this way. Mishaps don't make people feel sad. An accident doesn't mean anything. You were stopped because you were prepared to do so. And being ready has nothing to do with how smart or spiritual you are. There has to be a willingness to listen, to think, and to be honest about how close you got and how much it cost you to stay. This will be ignored by 99% of people because it feels safer to ignore than to understand. You have to take your life seriously when you understand. The message tells you to stop acting like survival wasn't a big deal. It asked you to acknowledge that you were safe kept alive and carried. A lot of people aren't ready for that duty. They'd rather not know than stay busy. They'd rather scroll than touch. They would rather be busy than think. You stayed though. It tells me something. Now listen up, because what comes next will depend on whether you read this all the way through or skip it quickly. Receiving doesn't mean you agree with everything right away. It means letting the truth sit with you, that you shouldn't push it away just because it's heavy. It means having faith that what seems important now will become sensible later. If you want Jesus to lead you right, Jesus guide my every step. You might be feeling a lot of different things right now. Desire to know more, to feel seen, and maybe even fear that you are being asked to do something big. Just so you know, I'm not asking you to do anything. You don't need to prove anything to me. Please pay attention. Being aware is the first step to becoming wise. The way cycles end is through attention. Being aware is how peace finally catches up to living. I couldn't say anything because you didn't give in when pressure tried to break you. You curved. It was a question. You fought, but you didn't go away. You haven't lost your spirit. Your kindness did not go away. Even though it hurt, you never lost the idea that life was important. It doesn't happen often. That's not a mistake. That's why I need to speak quickly now. It was worth giving up everything for you, so that you wouldn't have to wonder if you matter in life. Still, I don't force you to understand, even though I made that sacrifice. I want it. Invitation cares about your freedom, but an invitation sets the time, and this is your time. Do not skip this. You should know the truth about yourself, not because you don't want to miss out, but because you deserve to. You have a right to know that what you thought was endurance was fear. You have the right to know that what you thought was weakness was actually strong will. You should know that the place you stayed wasn't small. It was everything. You didn't find this message by accident. It found you because you are in a place where becoming more aware can change your path. Not being aware would make you keep moving, but something would feel unfinished. When you are aware, your movements become more in sync. 99% will ignore this and always feel bad about it. It's not that they will be hurt, but that they will never figure out why life feels the same. They will never know that they missed a chance to get things straightened out. You didn't walk by, though. You stopped. That's right. That's why this is important. Pay attention now. Take some time to think about these words before you decide what they mean. Before you judge them, let them sit down with you. Next things that happen depend on whether you see this as just another message or as a moment that needs you to be there. What you went through left me speechless. I want you to know what that really means. Not stunned into silence out of surprise, but in the stillness of knowing what it was. I saw every quiet moment you got through, every choice you made when no one was looking but you. You always chose to stay when it would have been easier and smarter to leave. Since there were no cheers, you think endurance is just another skill. But what you carried and how you carried it were more important than any kind of acting. You didn't put up a fight. You didn't act like you were in pain. You didn't ask for recognition or understanding. You kept doing things that seemed small but had big costs. When you should have been angry, you showed restraint. You chose to be quiet when it would have felt good to defend yourself. You stayed true to yourself even though giving in would have made things easier. Those choices were not hidden from me. They were heavy. There was more to what they said than words. Some days you were almost completely worn out. When you moved forward because you always did it, not because you were hopeful. You were tired when you woke up. You felt like you couldn't handle the responsibilities you were given. Still, you didn't give up on yourself. You didn't let hopelessness control what you did. You stayed present even though it hurt to be there. Staying like that takes courage that most people never see. Watching you deal with disappointment without getting angry is something I learned. I saw how you dealt with people not understanding you without getting mean. I saw you stick to your beliefs even when things made you want to change them. You weren't perfect. It was a question. You had doubts. You were having trouble inside. But you didn't give up the most important thing. That kind of restraint doesn't happen very often. It shows a heart that stays steady even when things get rough. You made it through seasons that could have worn you down. There were times when the silence was heavy. There were times when you couldn't get answers when you asked. There were times when you didn't know if your work was worth it. You didn't know when stress would go away. You didn't know when clarity would come, but you chose to be honest instead of acting like everything was okay. You let your feelings run your life instead of letting them control you. That balance wasn't easy to find. You had to be patient to learn it. Please help our channel. The goal of our work is to make you happy and strengthen your faith in God. You can donate to us through Super Thanks if you'd like to. You might not think of yourself as faithful because you thought your faith would be stronger, clearer, and more sure of itself. But having faith often means showing up even when you're not sure. It looks like deciding not to quit, even when you don't want to. Trusting presence instead of results looks like what it means. That's what you did over and over again in silence, not knowing if anyone would ever notice. I saw you fight the urge to get tough. Pain makes people tough. Disappointment makes walls stronger. But you kept your heart open, even though it put you at risk. When life tried to make you sharp, you chose to be soft. You pay more for a choice than you think. Being kind during a rough season takes a lot of strength. Having faith that being kind is not a sign of weakness is hard. You got through it without making your pain who you are. The pain you went through did not make you who you are. You were aware of it, but you didn't become it. You were safer because of the restraint than you know. A lot of people get through hard times by losing themselves. You made it through by holding on to yourself. At times, you felt like no one was seeing you, when you didn't know if anyone noticed how hard it was to keep going. You told yourself it didn't matter. You played it down. You thought your problem was smaller and less important when you looked at how other people were struggling. But comparing things doesn't really show how heavy something is. What is the weight of endurance? Not how it looks on the outside, but how much it costs on the inside. You didn't give up when there wasn't much hope. You didn't become completely lost in thought. You gave yourself time to stop, think, and feel. Even when it was hard, you stayed connected to the truth. When everything else felt unstable, that connection held you down. You didn't take the easy way out of survival, and that left me speechless. You didn't completely numb yourself. You didn't give up your values to deal with things. To keep yourself safe, you didn't lose compassion. You learned how to deal with pain without letting it make you sick. That's not a mistake. That's how things form. There were times when you thought you might fail. You told yourself that all you had to do was get through the day. You didn't feel like you won. You didn't feel strong. But you don't have to feel strong to have endurance. You have to choose not to stop, and you kept picking that. I saw your restraint when you didn't say anything. I saw how patient you were when you took a while to react. I saw how disciplined you were when you resisted urges. Those moments weren't exciting, but they were important. They helped you become the person you are today. They built something that can't be easily shaken. You kept going without knowing for sure. You made it through without timelines. You kept going without promises. Trust is built through a kind of endurance that doesn't depend on the situation. It gives you a steadiness that you can't fake. You were building it, even though you didn't know it. I want you to know that what you went through was not forgotten. It wasn't a waste. It wasn't thrown out. No matter how long someone kept quiet, it was clear. It was counted every time you put honesty ahead of ease. Every time you stayed when you should have left, it made a difference. You didn't keep going because you had to. You stuck it out because you had a strong belief that giving up was not the answer. That belief didn't shout when you didn't know the answer. Even though it was soft, it helped you get through times that could have broken you. You might be tired now. A lot of the time, endurance leaves you tired. That doesn't mean you failed. That means you lugged around something heavy for a long time. Rest will come. But before there is rest, there must be recognition. You need to feel like what you did was important. Not because you want praise, but because knowing why you're tired gives it meaning. You spoke so clearly even though you were in pain that I couldn't say anything. It got deeper for you. You still know what's right and wrong. You didn't give up being compassionate. You still cared about the truth. You've won big with those. These are the ones that define. I'm talking to gravity because gravity is the same as weight, and what you were carrying was heavy. Your toughness was not hidden. There was some importance to it. We didn't expect it. It was picked. You're here now because you made it through that. I can tell a lot about your heart from how you dealt with things. You're not as weak as you think you are. You are strong in a way that will last. What you went through left me speechless, not because it was exciting, but because it was true. Faith that is quiet is still faith. Strength that is worked for is still strength. And the fact that you didn't give up, even when no one was cheering, is something that can't be forgotten. Let this truth sink in. You didn't just make it through. You stuck with it with honor, and that strength will continue to show itself in your life. I saw you. I stayed with you. And what you went through was very important to me. You chose to stay even though I gave up everything for you. If you hear that, please do not feel guilty or pushed to do so. Love that is spoken through guilt is not love at all. You shouldn't be afraid of letting me down, because I gave up everything for you. I gave up my life so that you would know that even when you're at your weakest, you are never alone. We cared that you chose to keep going, even when pain made each step heavy. It didn't matter because I needed proof of your love. Relationships are built when people respond, not when they demand. My sacrifice wasn't a deal meant to make you feel like you had to do something. It was a chance. It was an invitation to live, be free, and be whole. I gave everything because love does that, not because love wants something in return. And when you chose to stay in your life instead of running away, when you didn't give up and become angry or numb, you were responding to love without even realizing it. That answer wasn't very loud. There were some flaws, but it was real. Say, Lord, you are my strength if He is your power and weakness. There were times when your worn out and broken sting made sense. There were times when going on felt pointless. There were times when you wondered if it would hurt less to just let go. It wasn't easy, so you didn't stay. You didn't leave because you couldn't give up on life. Not willing to give up on meaning. Did not give up hope that your pain would not be the end of your story. That refusal isn't haughty. And hope is having a hard time breathing. I know what it is. I didn't give up everything so that you would never have to struggle. Everything I had was given up so that struggle wouldn't define you. You are still in pain. There is still confusion. You are still tired and it bothers you. However, none of these are the last word. There was room for you to live in because you stuck with me through them and kept your heart open, even when it hurt. You were not making any money. You were getting even though it didn't feel like it. You might have thought that your stay wasn't important compared to what I gave you. You might have told yourself that what you went through was small, normal, and not worth talking about. It's not fair to compare love to other things, though. Love gets a reply. Love is aware of being there. Love can tell when someone doesn't want to give up, harden, or disappear. You didn't pay back by staying. It was a gathering. To honor what I did, I didn't need you to be strong. You had to be honest with me. It was honest that you were tired, that you had doubts, and that you were scared. You didn't act like everything was okay. You didn't try to hide your pain by acting sure of yourself. You brought your whole self to the fight. That honesty made a connection. My sacrifice was always about getting close to someone. At times, you felt like we were far apart. You were not sure if you were succeeding because you did not always feel close or at peace. But feelings aren't the only way to judge a relationship. It is judged by how present it is. You stayed present even though you didn't feel connected. You stayed interested even when things weren't clear. That's not defeat. That is faith that grows through staying strong. Because I gave up everything for you, you would never have to face darkness by yourself. But that doesn't mean there will never be darkness. It means that it could never claim you. You picked life over despair, truth over numbness, and hope over giving up when you chose to stay. Things you did, even if you didn't call them that, were acts of trust. It's not about guilt. I don't remind you of sacrifices to make you feel like you owe me something. Just so you know, love has always been there for you, right where you are. No matter how bad you were, people still loved you. You didn't have to do anything to be held. You were saved even if you didn't do well. You still chose to keep going. It wasn't out of duty that they made the choice. It was faith-based. You may have felt like you weren't good enough at times. You might have told yourself that you let me down because you were having trouble, having doubts, or being tired. But struggle doesn't hurt love. Lack of interest does, and you were never not interested. You cared even when it hurt to care. Even if it took energy, you didn't have to care. That care is what kept you there. I can see why you kept picking small things to do. Getting up, being kind, staying true to your values, and not letting cynicism define who you are. Those were not over-the-top actions. They said in a quiet way that you wouldn't let pain shape who you are. What I gave up was to make that possible, not to make you feel bad about it. Your stay wasn't a way to pay back a debt. It was a gift that you took. The gift of living life, even when things are tough. The gift of meaning that stays with you, even when you wait for answers. Having a relationship that stays strong even when feelings change is a gift. That gift was yours because you didn't walk away. You thought you were failing me at times, because you didn't feel faithful enough. But constant confidence is not a sign of faith. Return is used to measure it. You came back over and over. At times it's quiet, at times it moves slowly. You did not break the link, though. Your return was more important than having perfect faith ever could be. You should know that I gave up everything for you, so that you would know that you are worth staying for. And when you stuck by yourself, even when you were hurt or unsure, you were being true to yourself. Without words, you were telling yourself that your life was important enough to keep going. It wasn't ego that made them believe that. It came from love that was planted deep inside you. You might not see how my sacrifice is linked to your strength, but it is there. Love makes it possible to stay. Grace makes it possible to keep going. When there is redemption, even slow progress is worth it. Even though you couldn't name it, you were living in that grace. This is a relationship between two people, not a demand from one person. I give and you answer, though not perfectly, not what you'd expect, but honestly, and being honest builds trust. Trust makes a relationship stronger. That's what has been growing between us while you've been going through all of this. I didn't give up everything so that you would feel like you had to prove yourself. I did it so you could stay human without worrying, safe enough to fight without feeling bad about it, safe enough to say you're weak without worrying about being turned down. You used that safety, even though you didn't know it was there. You picked life when you chose to stay. You made the choice to love someone. You made the choice not to give in to pain. There were a lot of options. They came about because of love, no matter if you know them or not. Let this truth take the place of guilt with thanks. Not thankfulness that makes you feel heavy, but thankfulness that keeps you steady. Thanks that tell me I'm held. Thanksgiving makes me feel like I can keep going. Thankfulness that tells me my stay was important. You didn't stay because I scared you. You stayed because you were sure that giving up was not the best thing to do. As for trust, it comes from love, not duty, and I can see it well. I gave up everything for you. You still chose to stay. Not perfectly or without any problems, but honestly in the most important way. I can tell from that answer that what was given was not wasted. It has been received. You don't have any debts. You are living with someone else. And every moment you didn't walk away, that relationship got stronger. I am not let down by you. You move me. As a promise, not as pressure, I want you to carry that truth forward. Your answer was important. It was important that you stayed. And love will stay with you as you move forward. Because you stayed, you don't know what was stopped. I say that gently, because you would have been too stressed out to know everything at once. Some truths are only shown after they have been protected. While you were trying to stay alive, it was hard to explain how you felt today. But while you were trying to figure it out, things were being held back, paths were being quietly closed, and outcomes were being stopped that you never had to face. You thought that staying meant just being strong. Another thing it did was stop. There were times when you almost made choices that would have led you to times of loss that you were not meant to do. At times, you felt drawn to exits that looked like they would give you relief. You thought about options that would give you quick comfort or escape. They were not yours. Sometimes it's not because you were sure, but because you were unsure. That pause was important. It wasn't being weak. It was restraint that worked as protection. There were relationships that could have taken over your life. Links that seemed safe at first glance would have slowly stolen your identity. You could feel the pull. You felt like you knew it. That being said, something was just off about you that kept you from giving your all to something that would have taken more than it gave. You had no idea what you were trying to avoid. You only knew it didn't feel right. Being there kept you from losing things you never had to name. There were times when hopelessness tried to persuade you that nothing would change, that you didn't matter, and that leaving would end the pain. Those ideas weren't just floating around in your head. At the time, you couldn't see them very well because they were in a battle. It wouldn't have been right away bad if you had followed them. It would have been quiet, slow, and deep. That path was broken by staying. I stopped the effects by making you move more slowly. I put in wait times in places where going fast would have hurt you. I let you be confused when being sure would have pushed you in the wrong direction. You thought those wait times were problems. They were shields. You thought the chaos meant you would fail. What it meant was that you were being kept safe from clarity, that you weren't ready to act on yet. There were fights you never had to have because you didn't go into the area where they were waiting. There were disagreements that would have taken years to get over. There were mistakes you could have made that would have made your life worse. You were spared not because you were perfect, but because you paid enough attention to stop, think, and resist the urge to run away from pain at all costs. Some things did not come together as planned. You have no idea how thin the line was between going on and giving up. Many times, when your strength was weak, something unseen stepped in and helped you. I didn't show you those moments because if I had, you would have been scared. I took on their weight instead for you. Because you stayed, protection could do its job. A lot of the time, protection takes time. You have to be patient. It means fighting the urge to force a solution. By not running away from your life when it got heavy, you gave protection room to work. You gave it room by not numbing yourself all the way. You were there long enough for redirection to happen. You almost got into habits that turned out to be cages. There were ways to deal with things that would have made you dull for good. It made you want to disappear into them. You thought about it, but you didn't decide to do it. That pause wasn't a sign of indecision. It was pressure that made them wise. Staying kept you from turning into someone who needs to lose themselves to survive. There were possible futures that looked good, but were based on giving up some things. Back then, you didn't see how much it cost. There was only a quiet resistance from you. That resistance kept your honor safe. When you lose integrity, it costs a lot to get it back. Staying kept it safe. I changed directions without telling anyone. Some doors close on their own without telling them why. I let your disappointment keep you away from things that would have hurt you in the long run. You asked about those closures. You didn't understand why things didn't work out. You sometimes blamed yourself. But those shut-offs were not rejection. They were saved. It would have been easier for you to leave and blame everyone else. Those days of staying stopped you from becoming bitter. It takes time for bitterness to grow and change the way you see everything. You were kept from having to carry that weight forward. You were mad. It made you angry. You didn't let them change who you were, though. It was important. There were results that needed to be avoided by not having you there. The damage would not have stopped if you had emotionally disappeared, shut down completely, or decided that nothing mattered. It would have sent waves outward. Staying put protected not only you, but also what goes through you and helps other people. You can't see all the different ways your life could have turned out. You can only see the present. That's kindness. What you might have lost would be too much to bear if you saw every path you were taken instead. You're here now, though, stronger, clearer, more aware, and with depth instead of regret. I stopped the damage by keeping you on the ground. I stopped collapse by making sure you were still connected. By having you here, I stopped loss. You didn't have to be aware of those battles. I could fight them for you because I stayed. There were times when you thought nothing was going on. There was a lot going on behind what you could see at those times. A lot of the time, protection feels like stillness. There doesn't seem to be any change. But stillness is where limits are set, where barriers are put up, and where damage is kept in check. You might think you stayed by mistake. You might think that you just weren't ready to leave. But being worn out can also be used to your advantage. It's less likely to make hasty decisions when your strength is low. You were saved by slowing down. I kept you from things that would have meant you had to start over and rebuild yourself. I saved you years of healing that you never had to go through. I kept your ability to believe, feel, and hope. These abilities are weak when put under long-term stress. Staying kept them together. You didn't listen to some voices that would have taken you away from yourself. There were stories that you didn't fully believe, even though they sounded good. You asked them questions. You were unsure. That pause was the quiet growth of discernment. You didn't believe lies about who you are and what you deserve because you were smart. Because you stayed. You don't know what was stopped. You don't have to know everything to honor the truth. All you have to do is realize that survival was not easy. It was active protection that worked through your decisions, pauses, and self-control. This knowledge is not meant to make you afraid of what almost happened. This is meant to teach you to value the life you have now. No one spared you, so you can't rush ahead without being careful. You were spared so that you could move forward wisely. I was able to step in without using force because I stayed. It let it be redirected without hurting anything. It started the healing process before wounds got worse. This is why staying was so important. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give, and it will be given to you, is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation, and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today, join our community, and see what God brings back into your life. Share this video and say, "I worship you alone, Lord," if that's how your heart feels. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected, faith-filled community at the link in the description, and pinned comment, a place where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise built on the Word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided e-books and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-Fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to still souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself, Jesus says. This is not history, it is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the Word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall, share your heart, and as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit our community now, join the family, and see your heavens open.